Queen's Theatre that in March 1972, the premiere for Fist of Fury was held. It's hard to imagine now the sheer impact the movie must have had on local audiences. For the first time, they saw Bruce Lee unleash his chain kicks, take out a room full of Japanese opponents. For the first time, they saw him demonstrate the nunchakus, the weapon the press would refer to as Bruce Lee's singing rods of death. For the first time, they saw him use every range of combat to take out a much larger American opponent, played by Bob Baker. The moment that resonated the most with local audiences occurs early in the film. At the funeral of Bruce Lee's teacher, the Japanese deliver an insulting sign. It reads, "Donga Beng Fu," sick men of Asia. It's an insult that must be avenged, and immediately, Bruce Lee goes to the Japanese karate school, marches in, beats 7 kinds of stuffing out of everybody there. Finally holds up the sign. He says in the dubbed version, "Now you listen to me, I only say once, we are not sick men." In the Chinese version, "Chungoyan mai donga beng fu." The Chinese are not the sick men of Asia. As one man, the audience inside here rose to their feet and cheered. All these years on, they're still cheering the movie that is the masterpiece, Fist of Fury. Fist of Fury is based on the life and legend of Master Fot Yun Gap. Fot Yun Gap was a martial artist from the north of China who settled in Shanghai. And it was he who first had the idea to bring together under one roof the very best elements of all the different Chinese martial arts. He called his school Zheng Momun, or in Mandarin, Jing Wu Men. Zheng means excellent, Mo is martial, and Mun is a doorway. So the doorway to excellence in the martial arts. This is also the Cantonese, the Chinese name of Fist of Fury, Zheng Momun. The organization that he created flourishes to this day and includes this school, situated right here in Hong Kong. Now, Bruce Lee didn't want to do a direct retelling of the life of Fot Yun Gap. So the scriptwriter of the film, Yi Kwong, looked at a list of the students from Zheng Momun, and he found the name Chen Zhen. Now, in reality, very little was known about Chen Zhen, but the name sounded good. So this became the name given to Bruce Lee's character. Now, after the worldwide success of Fist of Fury, I think we can safely say that Chen Zhen is the most famous disciple of Fot Yun Gap. After the success of The Big Boss, the training wheels were off, and with Fist of Fury, Bruce Lee could finally prove his potential as a martial arts movie icon. Originally, it was planned that the action director from The Big Boss, Hon Yan-git, would perform the same duties on Fist of Fury. However, on the first day of filming on the Japanese dojo set, Bruce Lee came in ready to rumble. He had his multiple kicks, he had his nunchakus, he had that powerful stop-hit energy technique. The stuntmen stood back and realized this was going to be a Bruce Lee show. However, Hon Yan-git was a respected member of the martial arts movie community, and he had to be given a face. Therefore, the fight sequences in the film that Bruce Lee himself is not directly involved with were given over to Hon Yan-git. This explains the disparity between the style of the other Zheng Momun students and that of Bruce Lee. When Bruce Lee's fighting, it's Bruce Lee all the way. All of the exterior sequences, supposedly set in Shanghai, were actually filmed here in rural Macau, which was at the time a Portuguese enclave. These include the scenes when Bruce Lee adopts one of several disguises he wears in the film, as a humble rickshaw puller. All these scenes were shot day for night, a common practice to avoid the expense of bringing heavy lights onto the location for a night shoot. The scenes are shot in daylight with a blue filter over the front of the camera to give it a nighttime feel. The scenes of Bruce Lee pulling along the Japanese interpreter were cut from here back to the interior in the studios at Golden Harvest in Hong Kong. Another character that Bruce Lee played in Fist of Fury is the telephone repairman. And the first time we see him, he's halfway up a telegraph pole in Macau, just as I am now. Bruce based his characterization very much on the American comedian Jerry Lewis, of whom he was a big fan. Now I'm shooting here, I can see why Bruce had no dialogue in the scene, because the noise of the insects is deafening. The scene where Chen Zhen tries to enter a park on the Bund in Shanghai was actually filmed here in Macau at the Parque de Luis Camoes. At the time, Golden Harvest had such a small backlot. If they wanted to shoot a major exterior scene, they pretty much had to go overseas. Even though the scene in the movie is set in the early part of the 20th century in Shanghai, there's also some very evident kipper ties, primary color jackets, and very 70s Afro hairstyles in evidence among the咩事啊？
唔入得。
點解？咦？不過我唔係中國人。
我知，但係你個樣似狗仔。
So it's unclear whether there ever actually was a sign on the Bund in Shanghai saying no dogs or Chinese allowed. Certainly, in the city at that time, that kind of racism did exist. That moment when Bruce Lee leapt up and shattered the board in midair, he made the jump from being a hero to becoming a legend. Another point to mention is the Japanese kid who suggests that Chen Zhen crawl like a dog and he'll take him in. He's played by Yunhua. Yunhua was one of the Seven Little Fortunes, the Chatsu folk. They were a Chinese opera performance troupe who gave us Sammo Hung, Jackie Chan, and Yuen Biao. Yunhua was also Bruce Lee's acrobatic double and performed flips for him in the movies Fist of Fury and Enter the Dragon. He would later find even greater fame in the movie Kung Fu Hustle opposite Stephen Chow Sing-chi, and recently won Best Supporting Actor at the Hong Kong Film Awards. So you had Yunhua, you had Bruce Lee versus racism, you had no dogs, no Chinese, all of the above, here at the Parc de Camoes, all those years ago. Yunhua was one of the Chatsu folk, the Seven Little Fortunes, the Chinese opera troupe that gave us Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and stuff. Bruce Lee, yeah, he was in there. Sorry. Another point to mention is the Japanese kid who suggests that Bruce Lee crawl like a dog and he'll take him in is played by Yunhua. Have you enjoyed the park today, sir? Here we are, one of the many people who come to enjoy walking in the Camoes Park. For the first time, they saw Bruce Lee unleash his spinning, whirling, kicking techniques against a room full of One more time. Ready? Originally it was planned the martial arts director from Big Boss, Hon Yan-gip, would serve the same duty on Fist of Fury. However, when Bruce Lee came in on the Jet Li... Sorry. One more time. Igali Cheeto. Thank you, good night. All right, one more time.